Hope you're doing well. Things are going pretty good here. We got awesome weather at the moment. It's like 70 degrees out outside. Well, it got up to 70 today, but it's down to like 65 right now. But we've got 70-degree temps for the next 3 days, which is pretty awesome. So, see Julianne take care of us. Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I am taking care of myself. I'll explain what happened here at the other doctor's appointment here. Hang on, I gotta turn off the computer here. All right, there we go. Come on, Meadow, you want to come up here? Come on, sweetie. Up here. Come on. Up here. Come on. Come on. Up here. Come on up here. Come on up. Everybody wants to see you. I have to like coax her to come up on the bed. Come on, sweetie, up here. All right. So let's see. What's today? Thursday. On Tuesday, I made an appointment. Well, I had an appointment. It was actually not on Tuesday. It was on Monday. And the appointment was to get my neck checked out by an ortho center, and it was a really highly recommended ortho center that was up in Flagstaff, and it had like 4.8 stars out of like it was like 1,800 ratings. So I thought I was like, well, that's pretty good. And went up there, and they kept stressing to me like, hey, fill out all the paperwork before you come in. Do not be late. What's up, Greg? Like, do not be late at all. Your appointment's at 2:20, and if you're late, then you could forfeit your appointment. I'm just like, wow, they must run a pretty tight ship or something like that. Of course, we start the live stream. Meadow's been sleeping all day. All day we've been sleeping, and now she wants to play. Meadow, we're gonna talk to everybody real quick about the old neck problems here, okay? So just chill. But we're gonna put that like that so that way y'all can see her. But anyway, so I got there, and one thing I noticed is people were shuttling in and out like extremely fast. The place was extremely busy, and the person that I was supposed to meet with, it was the physician's assistant for like the spine. I think the spine specialist. Well, after an hour, I've been sitting there for like an hour. I watch all these people come in for their appointments, go in their appointment, come out, leave. I watched a ton of people do that. I finally got my name called, and it's just so, well, I'm not the physician's assistant, but my name's so-and-so, and I can help you today. I'm like, okay. And I should have asked her what her role was there. I didn't ask, but I assumed probably another physician's assistant. And so anyway, I went into the place, and I was trying to make small talk with her. Hey, what's up, baby? I was trying to make small talk with her, and I don't know. It kind of seemed like she was distracted, or something. It was like something was on her mind, because she wasn't really paying attention to what I was talking about, which is all right, because like I said, it was just small talk. But then we got into the room, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I looked at your X-rays. You're fine," and was kind of just real dismissive about everything. And I was like, "Well, let me explain what happened." And I told her about the injury and all that stuff, and she's like, yeah, that could have been something, but it's nothing. And I was just kind of like, and she wasn't even looking at the X-rays, like she had them pulled up, but she wasn't looking at anything on them, and she was being real general about everything, and just being like, no, you're fine, and what we'll do is we'll just put you into physical therapy, and then if you continue having pain, then we can do like an MRI or something like that, or a CT scan, to see like if there's soft tissue damage or something. And I thought, well, why don't we just do that now and eliminate anything that could, potentially come up? Because if my neck's been hurting for 3 months straight, it would make sense that it's going to continue to hurt. And she's like, no. And everything I said, she's like, kind of basically was contrarian to. And I didn't get the best vibe from her. And plus, too, and I'm not saying this as a insult to anybody who's a physician's assistant, but I'd rather hear from the doctor. And so I'm going to make a third appointment and go up tomorrow to Flagstaff. There's a spine institute up there, and just have them give me an analysis and kind of go from there. Because I'm like, my neck still hurts. It's uncomfortable. They did give me muscle relaxers, and that has helped with like the flexibility of my neck, because like I had some muscles that were pretty tense, and they had been tense for quite some time. Actually ever since I fell out of my truck. So they've been tense for like 3 months. And so that's helped with that. But it's still like, I can feel like the popping in my neck. And when I move my neck from side to side, it doesn't feel like it normally does. And it's hard to explain it, because I've never had a feeling like that before, to where it's just the middle part of my neck. It just feels off. Like it doesn't feel right, and it's got like this dull, just this dull pain that's always there. And Meadow, hey, hey, no, no, hey, hey, no, Meadow, Meadow, no, 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 sweetie, don't grab that. Come on, over here. Come on, over here, pumpkin. And so anyway, it's Meadow, I know, pumpkin. But so anyway, so I didn't like, I was basically spent like 5 minutes with the person, and they're like, go over, go over and I know, sweetie, this is what she does when she wants to play. So, um, so like go over to physical therapy and schedule an appointment with them. I'm like, okay. So I told them that I was like, look, you know, I'm a cash patient because I have insurance through Christian Health Ministries. And Christian Health Ministries, what it is like a reimbursement program to where you just submit your receipts and they pay you back within a couple weeks. And so you pay cash. You know, no doctor has ever said no to that. By the way, they've always been like, yeah, that sounds great because they want to get paid that day instead of having to deal with insurance. But anyway, the uh, went over to the physical therapy, and keep in mind when I set the appointment, I told them I'm a cash patient, you know, a cash paying patient, all that stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine, it's all good. Well, within their same office there, you know, where the physical therapy place was, I went over there. They're like, we don't accept cash payments. You're just gonna have to go somewhere else. I'm like, what do you mean? They're all, well, you know, we only deal with insurance. I was like, you don't accept cash payments? They're all, no. And I was like, well, when I called and made the appointment, you all said you did. And they're like, no, we don't. And they're like, we're sorry, we can't help you here. And I was like, I drove all the way up to Flagstaff, spent the whole day up there, you know, an hour long extra because they were late on their appointments. Lady completely is dismissive of me when I'm in the deal, you know, in the exam room. Spends no time with me at all. Doesn't even go over the X-rays, and then like go to the physical therapy, and then I go there. They're like, we can't help you, and I'm like, yeah, that's not that was a bad experience. Like I don't know where they got this 4.8 star rating, you know. So, but anyway, I'm just you know, I'm gonna go somewhere else and get that looked at and one more time and just kind of see what's up because the doctor initially was like, yeah, it looks, you know, it's like see a line right here. It looks like a fracture, and then he told me too. He's like, yeah, they'll do more imaging up there, and that's what I said to the lady. I said, shouldn't we just take some X-rays up here and you know you guys could you could just rule it out if I mean we could rule it out right now. No, no, no. We'll just go to just go to the physical therapy and then you know we'll deal with it later. I'm just like, man. I'm like, I don't understand why being so dismissive about it. And you know, I've been operating around here doing stuff. Like I've been working, you know, with the heavy machinery and building check dams and all that stuff. And you know, every night I do the hot tub. So I do my wood-fired hot tub every night. And I've got Epsom salts that I put in there. I've got essential oils I put in there and all that stuff. And I can tell that that works wonders. It's amazing how well that works. But it's just frustrating because, you know, you go into a place and you kind of like, hey, you know, I'm kind of hurting here. And I almost wonder if she thought I was in there for like trying to get pills or something because she was like, well, what do you wanting to do for pain? And I said, well, I've got ibuprofen. I said, that's fine. I said, I've got a hot tub too. I said, the hot tub with ibuprofen, I'm fine. And she was kind of like, oh. And so I wondered if maybe she thought I was in there going, oh, my neck hurts. Like, because I kept on saying like, yeah, it's really painful. Because, you know, being active like I am, probably, you know, continue to aggravate it, whatever's wrong with my neck. And that's why it's continued to hurt. But, you know, anyway, I don't know. It just seems like healthcare nowadays. It's like on top of it too, I had to sign all these forms, and it was like there was probably like 12 or 13 different forms that I had to fill out, and it was all this stuff I'd never even read before. I'm like, healthcare's gone bonkers nowadays, it seems. And it seems like every time I make an appointment, and they even say like you'll be seen by the doctor, then you know, you never end up seeing the doctor. You end up seeing a physician's assistant. And I know that they get good training and all that stuff, but it's like sometimes you just like to see the doctor so you can get like the word from the horse's mouth, you know. And when I was growing up, and when got out of college, and you know, insurance back then was pretty cheap. You get on ehealthinsurance.com, you could buy a plan for 150 bucks a month to cover you. You got a $30 copay and like a $1,200 deductible overall, you know, which is pretty good. And you go see doctors and you see the doctor, you know. But it seems like now it's just one of those things to where, you know, it's one of those things to where you're never really seeing the doctor, and you're kind of always guessing, and it's like you have to kind of, you almost have to be forceful in your treatment and go, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and this is what I think we should do, because it's almost like they come in, you fill out all these forms, and they go through it, and they look at it, and they kind of like check the boxes and say, okay, well, you fit this, you know, and it's kind of frustrating. But I will say that my neck feels a little bit better. Like I said, with the muscle relaxer that they gave me, it's some. I looked it up. It's some low powered, like not. It's not. It doesn't have like a narcotic in it or anything like that. So that helped with, because I had this one muscle that just would not loosen up, and I was always hitting it. I actually got my new Theracane. I'll show you guys this. I got this thing from when I hit the hot tub. My other one broke, but you can sit here like this and really clamp down, or you can go like this too and get real tight and clamp down. But this one's more like getting on your shoulder blades and stuff like that. But I was doing that on my neck, and that was helping. But it's like I couldn't get this knot released, and it was crazy. So, but yeah, sounds like you found a PE on clinic. I looked into it, and it ended up being, that's what it ended up being. It was a physician's, like all the doctors that worked there, I guess they owned a part of it or something. And I was just like, just my luck to. I was wondering. I was like, how did they get so many good reviews? I wonder if businesses like that ever pay to have people go and make fake reviews and say it's just awesome. Because like I was pretty disappointed when I walked out of there, and when I saw other people when I was waiting for that hour for the appointment to get there, I was noticing other people, which kind of frustrated too. And it was like one after another, in and out, in and out, in and out, nonstop. And there weren't that. I think there was like a total of 7 doctors there, and I mean it was like cattle, just so it was crazy. So see, using contour neck pros helps a lot. Oh, okay, I'll look into that one. Yeah, it's feeling, like I said, it's feeling okay. It's not horrible, but it's not 100%. And so I'm just gonna go to the I'm gonna go to the other place tomorrow and get a like a third opinion. And I mean, I'd be thrilled if there's nothing, if it's just like maybe I screwed up some um ligaments or muscles or something, and you can do physical therapy and get back from that. That's way better than a break. But I just felt like that gal that I went into for like the expert opinion, like I was told to go up there to those places. I felt like she was completely dismissive. Like I wasn't even in the room. It felt like I was just like, what is going on here? so so I wanted to provide y'all an update with that. And around here, just been kind of hanging out. I've actually got my friends Larry and Nat. They're here visiting. So Larry's been out here looking for land, and I don't know if you all follow him, but most people do. Work less, enjoy life more. In his last video, it shows the land up there, and so let's see. How are the temps, Mike? About 70 during the day right now, and about 32 at night. So yeah, the USA health system weird. For-profit driving us. Yeah, it certainly doesn't help with the for-profit stuff. And well, and on top of it too, it's just like the healthcare. You just wonder how many people are siphoning off the costs, because the costs are just astronomical to get stuff done. And then you wonder if it's even going to be done right, you know. And that's crazy. And then it's just, and then if you wanted to get like a plan through like the ACA with the Affordable Care Act, which it's not affordable, so I don't know why they named it that. In my situation, at my age, it was 600 no, $565 a month, and then a $6,500 deductible. And I'm like, so I would pay almost $14,000 out of pocket per year before I'd see one benefit from that plan. I was like, that's a joke. And so that's why I use the Christian Health Ministries plan. It's $150 a month, and you just get reimbursed. I had that when I had my knee surgery done, and send in the receipts, and within 3 weeks you get a check. You're paid back in full, which is pretty nice. So, but anyway, what you thinking here, Meadows? Meadow's been doing awesome lately. She's really been sticking close and just kind of hanging with me and all that stuff. And she's not barking when people go by anymore, so I'm real pleased about that. She's on guard, with the Belgian Malinois, and a lot of times she'll sit here like this when we're just chilling in the camper, and she'll just look outside because there's ground squirrels that run across the place and all that stuff. And But she's been doing really good, and I'm really pleased with her. She's been doing a great job with Larry and Nat with having them here, and just being super social and really really kind of fun. She gets so excited in the morning when we go for a walk and we walk past their camper, Nat's camper and then Larry's camper, and Meadow has to stop and say hi to both Nat and then also Pike, and then she has to stop off when she sees Larry to see Marty and Mason. So activate hall monitor mode. You're talking about with Meadow. So, but anyway, so it's been nice having them out here, and actually it was Nat's birthday yesterday, and so we did a little barbecue last night, and yeah, I know Vivian was just super quiet. She was getting kind of loud when we first started, but then she just laid down, and yeah, she's got her eyes closed too, so maybe she's just crashing out for a bit. I did give her a little bit of ham before we started the live stream, so I think that maybe the food, helped kind of calm her down a little bit. But she's doing great though. When my neighbors come by, she's not freaking out like she used to, and she's getting more social, which is great. And I think it's just the confidence being built because the Belgian Malinois is unfortunately a little skittish for the first 3 or 4 years. And what I'm doing with her is like I'll take her leash and I just wrap it around my waist and tie it to my belt buckle. And then anytime I do anything around here, she just goes with me. Because I was noticing I was leaving her in the camper and she would always cry when I was gone, and it was like that separation anxiety. And I was like, well, I don't want to make her anxiety worse if she's already kind of skittish and has confidence issues as a puppy. Then but the trainer that we worked with initially, just to kind of give me a couple tips of how to work with a Belgian Malinois, they told me, they're like, look, just keep on loving on her. These Belgian Malinois, they'll go through phases. And at the time, Meadow was going through the anti-human phase, and she's like, it's strictly a confidence issue with the Belgian Malinois. Just keep on building her up and include her in everything you do, and she'll come around. So that's what's happened, and I think she's done really good. She's come around a lot. And so it's nice to have her. Yo, what's up, Larry? What's going on, man? Looks like a nice sunset out here today, man. We've had awesome weather. So Larry's camping down the road a little bit on my place here, the road that I've cut through my place. So he's down there, and I'm actually cutting out an area for him to have like his own camp area in that area. So we got Nat Moran. What's going on, Nat? I was just telling everybody it was your birthday yesterday, and that we did a little barbecue. So. But it's been great having them here, and Meadow's been doing really good, like I said, with socializing. And so it's good to see it because I was pretty concerned for a while. She was tough to deal with when I first got her, really headstrong. And then when she got to that aggressive phase towards people, like I'd have my nomad friends come here, and she'd bark like crazy, and she was so aggressive, it was like she wanted to hurt them. And I thought, no, this isn't going to work. But luckily, that's all been gone by the wayside, and Meadow's really turned into an awesome dog. And she is so affectionate. Like she'll sleep at night, she rolls up against me, and she'll put her head right on my shoulder and all that stuff. So it's great having her around, and she's a good companion. So physical therapy, the difference is so much better. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I'll check that out about the physical therapy. So and I think that hopefully, I mean, I would, like I said, I would be thrilled if the second person was correct. And it's just like I said, I got a really weird vibe from her, so I was like, I think I'm just gonna go get another opinion and see what these folks have to say. So we're gonna do that tomorrow, and then Friday probably just spend some time romping around out here because the weather's gonna be nice. And then I think by the first part of next week it's gonna start getting cold, and then it looks like by Christmas we might have snow out here, which would be pretty cool. So yeah, Gary, it's feeling better. Like I was able to get some sleep over the past couple of days, which has been great. Before that, I wasn't sleeping at all, and I think that as that culminated with not sleeping, and then the muscles getting all tighter on the neck and everything, it just got to a point to where it was unbearable. It wasn't unbearable, but it was a point to where it was always present. Like I was always on my mind. It hurt all the time, and that's so the muscle relaxer that I took that's helped. But I don't want to take those things all the time because you just get sleepy. Because like today, I pretty much just laid around and played Call of Duty all day. So it was one of those non-productive days out in the country. So yeah, Meadow's a cutie. She's a little Belgian Malinois. She's currently clocking in now at about 65 pounds. So she's growing up and she's filling out. But she's doing this thing now when she sees people, she'll just jump up and down in place. You're just like, it's kind of funny to see a dog this size. And of this stature to like sit there and get so excited. She'll jump up and her little butt's going like crazy because she's wagging her tail so much. But real pleased with her. Oh, also too, I wanted to show you guys something. So today, we're gonna pull this off here. I'm just gonna take it off the stand. Today I got my composting toilet in, even though I've got the septic that's going in. This is the composting toilet. It's the Nature's Head, and this is what it looks like right here. The Nature's Head self-contained toilet. You can use this for, if as one person, you can use this for like up to 4 months before you have to clean it. And my friend Brad, who has the Sunraider, the Toyota Sunraider, and it's Sunroamer Overland is his channel. He has that in his truck, and he said that he can go for about 4 months before he has to clean it. And as long as you keep it vented and keep that fan going, your solid waste, because it has a separator, so the urine goes in one section and the solid waste goes in another. The solid waste has a spindle on the side so you can turn it, but then also a fan that constantly cycles in new air. And so as it's composting, it turns into dirt. And Brad's told me, he's like, yeah, he's like, then at the end of like 4 months when I'm ready to dump this thing, he's like, I have the bag in there and I pull it out, and he's like, it's literally just dirt. And so that's going to be awesome to have, because like, even though I've got septic and it's good to have that. That's basically just if I want to ever sell my place, because I want to have it to where everything's permitted, so like do things legit and all those things. But I'm not gonna use a water toilet out here, and the reason for that is because even the water toilets that are a little bit more on the conservative side of using water, that's still 13,000 gallons of water a year that a normal person would use, for using a water toilet. And I'm like, I'll just compost it, and there's gonna be no issue with that out here. And like I said, as long as you have it vented, there's no smell at all. I mean, I've been in Brad's Sunroamer a ton of times, hanging out, and that unit is right underneath. He's got his Nature's Head toilet right underneath one of his shelves, and it's on a slider, and it slides out when he wants to use it. And I've never once smelled it in his truck. And even with the exhaust fan coming out, I've never smelled that either. And so I'm really excited to have that here, because just getting things more set up around this place. As I get older and I realize that injuries from truck camping stack up, I'll be spending more time around here and less on the road. And a reason why I cut my trip short was, number one, I had that flu bug really bad, and so I wanted to come home from that. But I was going to go up to Idaho and go hang with Larry and everybody up there, and Nat and a lot of other folks, for the Red Button Ramble. And so I wasn't able to go up there. I came back here, but my neck was hurting me so bad. I mean, I wasn't sleeping then either. And so got back here and just never was able to get back on track. And so that's why I went to the doctor and had that checked out. So, but for the winter, if my neck isn't injured, if I just have to do, just physical therapy, then I'm cool with that, because then I can start jamming on other things around here as things get better. I just don't want to keep re-injuring my neck to where I can't sleep at night, because like not sleeping and then still having stuff to do around here during the daytime, it catches up with you really quick. Yo, what's up, Kevin? How's it going, man? It can catch up with you really quick, and it just makes it to where it's uncomfortable to live out here like that. The one thing they did say though with my neck X-rays is that I've got a disc that's degenerating, and so hopefully that I can keep that at bay. I'm gonna ask the people when I go in tomorrow, like, what could I do to kind of keep that at bay? Is there anything I can do as far as exercises? I know they said that yoga helps a lot too for any sort of degenerative spine conditions. And so Bobby, is your toilet your Christmas present? Yeah, I guess so. You can say that. So I've deconstructed the outhouse, and that's all been taken care of, and so that's the new toilet for now. But the contour pillow, okay, yeah, I'll check that out, Mike. I'll get one of those ordered up. And I think just going forward, just being more mindful of stuff. I started thinking about the injuries that I've had when I've been on the road, and there were like, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's like 4 major injuries And oh, hey, what's going on, Kelly? How you doing? Adventure off grid. No, not yet. I just got the prognosis. Well, the first diagnosis was on Monday, but then the people that I saw on, was it? No, no, it wasn't Monday. It was last week. And then this past Monday, I had a appointment up there in Flagstaff, and the doctor was like, well, it wasn't a doctor, it was a physician's assistant, but they were completely dismissive of everything that I said, which is kind of like blowing me off. And it was in and out real fast, and they didn't do any examination or anything like that. So I'm going to go up to Flagstaff's Spine Institute and get that looked at up there, and just have a third opinion. Because like, I'd be thrilled if I don't have a fractured neck. That'd be great. But yeah, that's Western Michigan. That's the truth. It's just like, it seemed like the place that I went to. I come to find out that after I went there, it was one of the physician owned places. So it's like the physicians that worked there also were part owners of the clinic, and it just seemed like in and out, just people just coming in and out nonstop, and it was like cattle. I got the impression, I'm like, they're not spending very much time with these people, because I'd see people come in and they'd check in, they'd go in the back, and then they'd be out within like 5 minutes, like, or less. And I'm like, unless they're getting it directly in with those folks, I can't imagine they're spending the whole 5 minutes with them. But with me, I mean, the gal didn't even examine my neck or anything, and was just like, "Yeah, we'll get you into physical therapy, and if your neck still hurts, then maybe we can do some X-rays." I'm just like, "What? Like, that seems kind of backwards, doesn't it?" So, but let's go outside. The sun's starting to go down, and wanted to kind of just walk around real quick and show you guys what's been going on. Oh, what's up, Mark? Mark and Denise, how you guys doing? I've been enjoying the Jeep posts that you always put on Facebook, man. I hope things are going well. Are you over in I think, didn't you move to the Western Slope? I think like Montrose or something like that. Let's do this. Let me just get this on here. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna leave that. We'll just keep it on the stand here, and then we'll go outside. Oh, okay, yeah, Montrose. I always liked it over there, man. Used to roll over there with Sierra all the time, and we used to go hit up Montrose, and we'd use that town to resupply, but we'd also go over and do a lot of stuff in Uray and like Ridgeway. Always hit up the Orvis Hot Springs, and we'd camp there all the time. That was always a blast. So, all right, guys. So I've got the hot tub up and running. It's almost up to temp right now, and then got Nat over there camping. Whoops. And then around the corner, that's where Larry's camping at right now. And then just kind of looking at the land. I've been doing, before I hurt my neck, I was doing a lot of brush hog work. And this kind of shows how the tall grass gets real big. I want to show you guys this right here. We'll flip this around. This shows how the tall grass gets real big after I eliminate a lot of those bushes. Now, I did go ahead and mow all this down right here, because I just didn't want the fire risk, because that tall grass, when it gets real tall like that, in this season, this part of the year when it dries out, it can flame up real fast. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and roll through and start mowing that down. And then I took a little bit of a break, obviously, with the news that I got on my neck. And so I haven't used the brush hog since then. But if I'm cleared and everything's good and I can start using the brush hog, then the goal is to get the rest of that scrub oak taken care of and knocked out of my place. Because I love how the land looks when you give the other plants an opportunity to get some water and some sunlight. Because like my pine trees around here, like if we look at this pine tree that's over here on the ground, this one was almost dead when I cut back the big old bushes that were here. There were two bushes. There was a scrub oak here, and then there was a scrub oak that was here. You can kind of see how it's still trying to come back a little bit. I'll prune this back. But this tree was lopsided, and you can kind of see how it still is if we look at it from this side here. You can see how the tree still doesn't have a whole lot of growth on this side, but I mean, it was like barely here. It was a little tuft at the top. These branches didn't have a whole lot of pine needles on them. And now, after 2 years of that being exposed, that thing's really starting to come back to life. And that's what's happening to all the pine trees that I've got up here that I've been clearing the scrub oak away from, to hopefully give the pine trees a chance to succeed. They're all doing great. And so over here, I want to show you these. This little one was almost dead, and it's really coming back. Look at how healthy this thing is right here. And then the Okies, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's been a lot of work to get it like this because I found some footage from when I first got out here, and it's like the transformation that this area has undergone since I got out here was amazing. I couldn't even see the views or anything when I got in here because there were trees and bushes, and some of the scrub oak bushes, the biggest scrub oak bushes that I had were up here at the top of the property. And once I got rid of them, it really helped out to open things up and kind of give me an idea of how the land would live through different seasons. And then I realized that up here is where I wanted to be once I got all established. But looking back at these trees over here, all these smaller ones, I've been exposing them and getting them more resources, and they're all doing great. Starting to take off more. And then and then of course the tall grass as well is really starting to take off. So real pleased with how things are going so far. And was doing a little bit of work on the camper cover. I was actually going to make a side, like basically parking space for my quad. So I've got some reclaimed materials over here. If you see right there is like some old metal roofing and some old wood and stuff like that. And so, but with my neck, I think I'm going to pause just for now. And then, once we get the A-OK, then we'll start cranking again. So, but other than that, just wanted to give you all an update with the neck. Hopefully we'll have some better answers tomorrow, and then I can kind of determine what we're going to do for the winter. Because I don't want to just sit around for like 3 months. But if we have to, of course we will. I know, sweetie, what you think? But I would be thrilled if that lady that was dismissive when I went to go up to the place on Monday. I'd be thrilled if she's right. I just got a bad feeling. I just feel like she didn't even examine anything. So I was like, how does she even know? So, but other than that, it's coming up on this weekend. I've got a video of when Larry was here, or when Larry got here, and then also with Nat, and just kind of just been hanging out. Haven't really done a whole lot of active stuff, but we did go down at the end of our road here, where it dead ends into a pretty cool historic ranch. There's this place with all these Native American artifacts all over the ground. And Larry actually found it. I go down there all the time, and he walked around the corners. One place, he's like, "Man, check out all these artifacts on the ground." I'm like, "I've been coming down here for like 5 years, and I've never even seen this." So it was really, really, really cool for him to point that out. And there were a ton of Native American artifacts on the ground. So we went down there, spent the day kind of just poking around, seeing what we could find. Checked out some of the views from up top of where the ruins are located. And so that's what I've got for the video coming up on Saturday. And some good drone footage and just some other stuff of what's going on here. And then also some updates with the check dams in the lower section. We're starting to get into the time of year to where the evening temperatures are freezing, so all the plants are starting to get dormant. But there's some areas down there that are still wet from the last storm. And the last storm was like, gosh, like 2 weeks ago, I think was the last storm. And one of the areas is still just soaking wet with water. And so the groundwater recharge down there is doing really well. And I'm really excited for next year because I'm hoping if we get a decent winter with some good snowstorms here and there, that lower creek will run. It has a potential to run full time because the ridge over on that side holds snow all winter, and it's northwest facing, so it doesn't get a whole lot of sun. So when the temperatures are just above freezing and that place has snow, it just slowly melts and it will just run that creek all day long. And I had it once to where had it once to where that creek ran full time for 3 months, which was awesome. So, but I do need to get this one out. I need to get her walked before the sun goes down, and then I also need to go get a bunch of firewood for the hot tub tonight because I didn't get enough earlier. So we're gonna cut the live stream short. But I just wanted to get on and provide y'all an update with kind of where we're at now with things. And I'm still taking it easy with my neck. I'm not doing anything hard. And the wood that I'm getting has already been chopped up. It's just got to grab the wood. It's just on this lower section. So I'm not doing anything physical until I can get a third opinion on my neck and kind of see what's up. So as soon as I do that, I will let you guys know. We'll do another live stream, and hopefully I'll have good news of it not being fractured. And then we can go from there and just jam all winter and have a good time. So, but anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're going to go ahead and log off now. And like I said, going to visit that other place tomorrow. So hopefully by Friday, have some answers with some new imaging done and all that stuff, and just see what's up with my neck. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one, and hope you all have a good night. Let's see.